How in the hell is everybody doing? Man Cave Sports back here with another edition of Puck Wild, joined by some of the talent here at Man Cave. Good to see our man Gary back. It's been a couple of weeks. I know he's been on vacation, much like myself, and good to see you back, Gary.
Thanks for having me.
Here to talk about the Wild. The last week they went 2-1. Nice 4-0 win last night, and a couple of items that we will hit on. First thing we're going to talk about is the injuries, and I'm going to start out with you, B Naughty, because we started talking about this before he went on air here, and there's some mystery surrounding some of this stuff. Obviously, Kaprizov's been out for a while, but talk a little bit about the injuries. And as they finish the season here, I think 12, 13 games left and position themselves for a playoff run. What's the status of the injuries, and what are Wild fans to be concerned about?
Well, what I've heard is that Rodine's actually skating, which is fantastic. I mean, that's kind of the heart of our team right now is that blue line with how we're winning puck games right now. But there is some mystery, which hockey is wont to do, upper body, lower body, that type of thing. Uh, I heard Billy say there's no timetable yet for Kaprizov. And there's no timetable for Eck yet. They're just seeing how they're going. Is that subterfuge? Are they? Do they know more than what they're telling? I mean, hockey is one of those strange games. It's kind of concerning because we were cash strapped at the trade deadline, and like you could have pulled one of those Kucherov moves and just put him on long term IR, and you'd add $4 or $5 million to play around with to get somebody at the trade deadline. But Billy did not choose to do that. So it is a mystery. Are they telling us everything? It kind of confounds. And speaking of injuries, I did not like last night watching that game when Rossi got the knee to knee, and I mean he was crappie flopping all over the place. That didn't look like that was a good thing. And looking it up, Russo doesn't know anything. Nobody knows anything, but it's a lower body injury, and he's already out for the next game. And if we lose, if we don't have Kaprizov, Yule, or Rossi, jeez, man. I mean, Dallas, the Avs, Winnipeg, especially, they're just head and shoulders a better team than us. So let's just see what happens. I mean, in Billy G, I trust. I'm a little kind of little on that side with it because it doesn't really make sense. But he knows what he's doing. He makes the big buck.
Gary, welcome back. What's your take on the injuries?
Ah, the injury front, I think Brodin's a big deal. I think that's probably one of the largest on that back end. Not just because he's a good player, obviously but he gets the puck out of the zone fast, and that's what that breakout is. What the Wild need to really get that in the forward zone, play that cycling hockey, and use some of those young stars to be able to really get depth in that forward zone. Wild struggle with Merrill a little bit back there, things
They
like
do.
that to get that puck out of the zone. So I think he's the biggest piece to me. Obviously, Eriksson is a big deal because last year, with him going out and coming back with that broken bone so quick, this is the same kind of thing. He's got a broken bone. We're really going to be on the edge of the playoffs with him. And so I'm nervous about that a little bit. Kirill needs to get this runway start up, and I don't know if he's going to have that. So going in the playoffs, although there's a lot of ups and downs, hell, this is free money anyway. We really know next year's got to be the year, but unfortunately, has to be the year for Kirill to want to stay. So the Marco Rossi thing happening yesterday sucked, but I'm hearing that it's not as bad as what Brodin's was. So they said the MRI wasn't as bad, the results on that. So that's a good note. But yeah, the injuries suck, and I think it's been an issue. But like I said, if you can get a few of these pieces back, I really think you can enjoy a run.
Mr. Steve.
It's been quite the continual gift that keeps on giving with this injury bug that keeps getting us. Rossi, being day to day. Brodin obviously hurts. My boy Foligno, he's my favorite Moose. He stirs everything up. He brings an extra element to the game. when he gets going, especially when he gets his forecheck going and he's just driving the other team nuts and does the extra digging to keep, get that extra zone possession time. Johansson, we can't lose much more offense. I'm just going to say it that way. We can't afford to lose any more forwards and centers here. It's just, at some point here, they're going to be making a phone call. We're going to see B Naughty out there in front of the net and, taking
Dino
some.
Cicerelli, man.
Yeah, you'll be doing that. You'll be taking a couple slashers to the kidneys. I think a couple cross checks there right across the back. You'd be peeing blood for a while, but yeah, it's not. No, it's all you, bud. Whatever that 10-day contract they decide to give you, like the NBA or whatever, that's fine. But yeah, we can't afford to lose anymore. We might as well just cancel the Iowa Wild and bring bring their forwards and centers up and just see what happens and see what goes. But yeah, it's I was really disappointed when Foligno went out because he's my favorite and he stirs it up. He helps keep that offensive zone time. Our defense is what's kind of keeping us in it. Like you said the other day, though, Benati, if we can get to 3 goals with our defense the way it's playing, we're in good shape. Mike?
All right. And you guys are talking about 3 goals. Obviously, Gus had a good game last night. I did watch the first 2 periods, particularly after the Wolves laid an egg once again, which we'll talk about later on a different show, different time. But while I'm here, I'm obviously not at the Man Cave. I'm at Man Cave North, but unfortunately, I don't have internet up here yet. Just opened the place up. So I am at the Squirrel Cage in beautiful Willow River, Minnesota. Be sure to stop by. Great food, great ambiance, great employees. Mike and Brenda will take care of you, the owners here. So wanted to pimp out one of my favorite watering holes / eateries while I was up here. But anyways, goaltending obviously has been pretty good. Granted, I think it was a 5-1 loss last week, but Gus is playing great. Brian, what do you think about Gus as they're heading toward the playoff run here?
Man, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it again. Hockey is that one major professional sport that if you get good defense and a hot goaltender, anything can fucking happen during the playoffs. And he's standing on his head. The way Hines has got him playing, it does seem like the opposing team is in our zone like majority of the time, but they're not getting good shots. They're spreading them out, and when they do get good shots, even when Flower back there, it's just the goaltending's like heating up. And as Mr. Steve alluded to I firmly believe the way that we're playing, and I'm a huge John Hines fan, and it's because of what he's doing. I'm a firm believer. If this team can play with a lead and score 3 goals, just 3 goals, we're not asking for a blowout. I think we're completely dynamic right now with the way we're playing, with our blue line, with both goalies. And that's just it. I mean, we go down early. We go against the system. But we play from ahead. I mean, we're dynamic out there. Just our power play, it's probably one of the worst power plays in the history of hockey since they started doing the sabermetrics or whatever that you want to call that. But the last handful of games, holy crap, it's been much improved. And that's all you need in the playoffs, and let's go.
Eric.
Big G.
Playoffs are a whole different animal. You can ride a guy and it can get hot and it can get fun. I thought coming off of the All-Star break, I thought he looked like shit. I'd be real blunt. I thought Gus Bus looked terrible. That injury was something was going on with him. He's been pedestrian until probably a week ago or 2. He really started coming together. I think that he's got to get hot here, and that's going to be Jonas coming back too. It's that blue line too. It's not just him, right? He's got to be able to have a good defense in front of him to be able to take the pressure off of him, and the forecheck's got to be there. That's an important part of those grinders up front. The Folinos, those are the pieces that are going to keep the pressure off of Gus. But I will say we can get him hot. We can get him firing on all cylinders, get confidence these last 13 games. We can find something, and it can be fun. But I think he was pedestrian until probably a couple weeks ago, and I'm liking what I'm seeing now, and we'll see what happens.
Mr. Steve.
Yeah, he did it after the All-Star break. Yeah, he kind of came out and blew a tire, that's for sure. But he is, he still does have a 917, saves. I mean, he's had a decent, he's had a good year. He's top five in the NHL. So I mean, that's good. But it's nice to see him get things turned around. I think another thing too is that because of the style of play they've had to do, the team's blocking close to 20 shots or so a game, right? Everybody's dropping on the ground, and like I said the last week, Spurgeon was like a puck sponge. Everything was hitting him, and so that's helping out a lot as well. The one thing that I get nervous about is the mental grind of this. I think he knows that it's really him. Flower's going to come in every, third, fourth game and, give him a, pitch some relief innings there. But I think as long as they can keep him mentally level, just be like, hey man, you just keep us alive. We'll do everything we can in front of you. We get Foligno, Brodin back, like you're talking about. We get the puck out a little bit quicker. If we can just tilt the ice a little bit more the other way, give him some breathing room. I think Gus will be okay. You mix in some flour, and I think these last 13 games here that we got, we can get them warmed up and get them ready. And I think like you said, Nadi, you get a hot goaltender, you can ride that. You can ride that into the second round real easy. Mike.
All right. So you guys hit on it a little bit. Obviously, they're down the last 13 games, I believe. And before we came on here, we were talking a little bit about some of the playoff scenarios. So Brian, I will start with you once again. What are you looking for out of the Wild these last 13 games? And what do you think about the playoff scenarios? Who do they want to play? Who do they want to avoid?
Yeah, just to be like blatant about it. I mean, we got to keep stacking points, but there is a danger here. I was listening to Russo talk on an interview today, and he was very concerned about us overtaking Colorado because what that will mean, we'll have to play Dallas or Winnipeg, and without having healthy our three guys that are hurt, and they'll be just kind of coming back into it during the playoffs. They're just head and shoulders better than us right now at this very moment. And if we don't have Kirill or Eck, it's I don't like that thought. But what Russo was saying is that we've been playing Collie. Like, we've been beating their ass the last couple of times. We seem to match up well against them, whether on the road, whether at home. So I think that's the big thing. I'd like to squeak out and get Colorado and not one of those two teams. And just like we've been talking about, you get a hot goaltender, you got good defense. It's hockey. Anything can happen, Daddy. Anything. Big G.
I tell you what, the matchup shit, trying to dodge somebody or play somebody to
Right.
get someone. I ain't all about that. I tell you what, you're gonna have to see him anyway. Would I love to see Vegas first? Yeah, I think Vegas is very beatable. I think the Wild can take it to them. Matchups, sure. Dallas is the tough matchup. Dallas is the tough matchup for anybody in the West. So to say Winnipeg or Dallas is a tough matchup for the Wild, shit, they're gonna be a tough matchup for anyone. I think if you really look at it, those two are probably the odds-on favorite to come out of the West. So you got to go through them at some point. Do you slay the dragon early? Who knows? I don't like the matchup, but I also can't run from it. I think you grind down and you just try to win those close games. Those games, I think it was 2 years ago, we went into St. Louis without Kirill, and we won one of those two games that came back. Now we got our ass kicked here at home, but the thing was we ground through that game without Kirill at all. So going into those playoffs, I think the Wild need to first and foremost get healthy. Secondly, they have to have faster offensive power. They need to score goals quicker in the first period. You can't drag into the second period without scoring a goal. They need to jump out fast on scoring, and then they can play defense and start winning those kind of games, those grinder games. But for me going into the playoffs, the Wild have to score and score early. And I think that's the key to what they do. And I don't care who the matchup is, that has to happen.
And as you said about slaying the dragon, you know, you can't, if you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. I get that. But I wouldn't mind getting a good matchup and having somebody else slay the dragon. You
I
know,
get it. But for me, it's like any sport for me, it's like I don't care who it is, we're going at them. So
I like I
that's the
like
approach I like.
I like B Naughty's take. He stole line from Ric Flair. You want to not directly, but if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo, Mr. Steve.
woo!
Yeah, I personally would like to take on either Dallas or Winnipeg in the second round. I think we need the extra time to get Eck and um, Carell back. I think that we've got a tough stretch. That, like I stated in the last one, the next 5 games, so the end of the month here, are end of March, are really going to make a determination of what's going to happen. We get 3 or 4 2-point games out of this next 5, and I think we put us in a good shape to maybe bring up some of the younger guys in April, because we should be favored for most of the April games. We bring up some younger guys and see if we've got, we can catch lightning in a bottle with one of those guys. And then we've got our, what's his name? I just got Derek, whatever, from college, that we could even get him in and get him some games at the end of April and see if that can help us out in the blue line as well. So I'd really like us, I'd like to take on one of the 2 top dogs in the second round, give Eck and Carell a chance to heal up a little more, get us a little bit more healthy. But I think really, again, the last 5-6 games here in March are going to determine what we're going to be able to do, because if we're on the grind, to stay in the wild card, then, we're going to have to play guys that maybe we don't want to have to, that should be able to get some more rest. So, I give me the big boys in the second round, get healthy, and win out, get stack some points here in March so that we can have a little more flexibility in April to get ready for the playoffs. That's my thoughts. Mike?
All right, gentlemen. Well, I'm just excited that we're sitting here in late March talking about playoff sports, playoff hockey, obviously, in this instance, and even hopefully for
Playoffs.
our playoffs, as Jim Mora once famously said. But exciting times. You got these last few weeks, and then we'll see how mid-April plays out. Hopefully you gentlemen are enjoying basketball. I've watched a little bit today, but plan to do more so tonight. So just fun time of the year. You've got everything going except for the NFL damn near. So definitely good.
They just come off free agency, so they're involved either way.
Yes, Gary, and I know we did a quick one last week. Would have loved to have gotten a hold of you, but I know you were out of town, and I did mine from vacation as well. But the Vikings, it's crazy. But that's for another cast, man. Minnesota sports, it keeps us busy, right, guys?
This is our championship time right now.
Yes. Gotta love it. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate it. For those who watch this cast, appreciate it. Like, follow, and subscribe to all of our socials. And we will see you next week for another edition of Puck Wild. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Good to see you guys.
Thanks, guys.